Good morning, Chiefs Kingdom. Is the Chiefs undefeated season over? We're going to talk about it.
It's not. Spoiler alert. But thanks for being here. We're all chiefed up. Welcome back to another live podcast For That Ass. Thanks for joining us. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 50,000. You can see up in the corner, we're at 38,224, so we're pretty close. So go ahead and hit that. Thanks for following along. We appreciate it. Hit that notification bell. Cha-ching. Steve, let's get it going. Let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs, man. We heard yesterday more bad news, more IR. Can the Chiefs... what is the deal? Who put the hex on Kansas City this year? The script writers were relentless.
The script writers, the football gods, whatever you want to call it, they are after Kansas City's ace this year, buddy. They don't want a team to get the three-peat. I'm starting to think they don't want it. But you know what? We don't care what they want.
Yeah.
All right?
Steve,
yeah, but no, what you were alluding to was Harrison Butker. Out of the blue. Completely out of the blue, got a knee injury, might miss some time. Very, very fast. It turned into going to the IR. We're signing Spencer Shrader or somebody like that. I don't even know if that's his name.
Oh my Lord! Don't disrespect the name of Spencer Shrader like that. Let me tell you, Butker. Look. It's not nothing major, but he had some of his knee was bothering him a little bit, right? So. They're going in. They're cleaning it up. They're cleaning up a little bit of the meniscus tear. They're going to go ahead and get him back to healthy. If they would have kept it going, it could have progressed into something crazy. So they're going to take a few weeks here. I think Andy is the Chiefs, Andy, everybody, they're kind of looking at this as well, we've already been hit by a Mack truck of injuries. So I think they're just trying to get it in, get it over with, and get them healthy and back for the playoff run and for the meat of the schedule there at the end of the season. I don't think it's a big deal. Now, did it come out of nowhere? 100%, man. I was having dinner. I was having a little Mexican food. I was having a little chicken burrito, and I was about to take a bite, and somebody said, Butker's on IR, and I said, what? I said, I knew the knee was kind of giving him a little bit of problem. I think that maybe could have been why he mishit that ball there at the end. He may have hurt himself. Who knows when he mishit that ball there at the end of the last game, but it just kind of come out of nowhere. I didn't think it was going to get that far. I knew that his knee was kind of bothering him just a little bit, but I didn't think it was nothing that you'd have to go to IR for, but it is what it is. Look, Spencer Shrader, the kid played at South Florida. Okay, he was born right up the road in Indianapolis. You got to give the guy a little bit of grace. Okay, he ends up playing a few years at South Florida, and then he goes to Notre Dame, the mecca of college football, right? And the first year he was there in South Florida, not too good. Second year he's there, not too good. But the third year he was at South Florida, he was a Lou Groza semifinalist. He was 11 for 13 on field goals, 35 for 35 on extra points, and then he comes to Notre Dame, has a solid season for Notre Dame. He missed a few field goals. He had the school record, though, a 54-yarder in a win over North Carolina State. So is he great? I don't know. Is he serviceable? Yeah, for sure. He's 5 for 5 on kicks in the NFL, and in college he was about a 69% kicker, career kicker. And I know that there were some Chiefs people yesterday on X got everybody a little horned up saying, Butker's one of the best kickers ever, and now we got a guy that was only 69% in college. Well, Butker was only 71% in college. So what are we crying about? Butker made himself a great NFL kicker. I get it. It's not a comparison. But to look at the poor guy's college stats and then be like, this guy's horrible. It's like,
Does
it's
it
not
matter?
that big of a deal.
Does it freaking matter?
It does matter a little bit, I think.
I mean, in the big scheme of things, as long as Butker gets healthy and gets back on the field before the playoffs,
It
I don't
matters
care.
for the weeks that Butker's gone because Butker may damn near be our MVP half the time. We can't get the ball in the end zone.
But at the same time, it's just was it last year when Butker had the ankle problems? We had to go sign several kickers a year. It was last year or the year before that.
There was a couple carousels working.
This kind of stuff happens. It's not a big deal as long as it's not something that's going to be long term. I mean, if he's going to be out for 3-4 weeks even, then whatever. Did they put him on the IR or not? That's what I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, he's on the IR.
Okay, so 4 weeks.
He's going to miss. Well, they said he could get back within 3, but I think you have to miss 4 if you're on the IR.
I thought you did too. But either way, it's happened before. As long as he's back for the end of the season, the playoffs, it's not a big deal to me. If the Chiefs can't win games without having Butker bail them out all the time, then Let's do it.
I think he's attributed for 75, 78 points this year. I'm not for sure how many points the Chiefs have even scored in total this year, but it's not that many.
You know what? I'm surprised. I'm surprised they even signed a kicker. I'm surprised they didn't use Justin Reid just to get everybody real horny like last time.
That is true. Yeah, look, the Chiefs have only scored 219 points this year. 219, and I think Butker's attributed for 78 of them. So, geez, how many? Okay, hold up. I'm going to do a little bit of math. 78 divided by 219. Butker has attributed to 36% of our points scored this year. So that's a pretty big number, man.
Yeah.
But that's all because we stall in the red zone. Chiefs got to get that together. Maybe this will force them to get over that hump. And I think that's the title of the video, is the Chiefs undefeated run over. I don't think necessarily this means it's over. And the reason it's not is because the guy on the cover of the thumbnail. Patrick Mahomes is big time. This is the time that Patrick Mahomes, look, he's slowly but surely gotten the swing of things. He's getting back a little closer. Maybe this is the part of the season that Mahomes figures out, hey, just like always, I've got to go out and put it on my shoulders a little bit. But he's got a little bit more help, right? He's got D-Hop finally.
A lot more help.
Right. He's got D-Hop. He's got all these things. Now's the time maybe Mahomes finds his inner demon and he comes out and starts slaying. And then in these 4 weeks, everybody should almost be back. You should see Charles Omenihu. You should see Pacheco. Everybody should get back before Butker does. And Butker should be like the piece that seals it, except for maybe Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's not. And if the Chiefs were to lose a game or two, it's also not a huge deal. You don't want it to happen. You want the Chiefs just to win out, right? Ideally. But in the real world, the likelihood of that is very, very slim. But either way, like I said, as long as everybody's back and healthy before the playoffs, then I'm perfectly fine with it. It's whatever. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to step up. A big game coming up against Buffalo this week. They're the second team in the AFC right now. I'm pretty sure they're right behind the Chiefs. So
yeah, we're 2 games ahead.
Right, but definitely a game that you want to win, just for the playoff stuff. I mean, you want that 1 seed for sure. So if you win this game, then that gives you a little bit of breathing room in case you do drop a game or two or something crazy happens. So I think this is a very, very important game. It does suck that you won't have Butker for this one because more than likely it's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
So it does suck, but at the same time, like, out of the Butker field goals that he hits, I understand Butker's very, very clutch, right? Like, that's the main thing with him. Like, he has ice cold blood in his veins. He does not get shook, and he will hit the game-winning field goal no matter where it's from. But a majority of Butker's field goals are probably inside 30 or 35, I should say, maybe. So, I mean, like, you go sign a guy just temporarily. If you're good enough to be in the NFL as a kicker, even if you're just getting used and then dropped or whatever, you still should be able to hit from 30 pretty consistently, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
I'm not too much worried about this kid.
No.
Like, he's 3 for 3. No, I think it's 3 for 3 extra points, 2 for 2 field goals so far in his NFL career. So, I mean, he has kicked in the NFL and he has seen the ball go through the uprights. Like, is he going to struggle? It's possible. He can miss 1. He can miss 2. He can miss an extra point. But look, Butker, you hold your breath sometimes when he kicks extra points. He's never been the most reliable on the extra point part. But Butker,
he's been better the last couple
if
years.
you hit Butker inside of 60 with the game on the line, there's nobody I trust more. Okay, we'll put it that way. But until Spencer Shrader shows that he sucks, I think Andy will have all the faith in the world in him. Now, look, will he? Maybe this just forces Andy to get over his little fear of going for it. How many times does Andy punt the ball away on like 4th and short from the 50 all the time? And we're like, if you would have just like trusted that offensive line, trust Kareem Hunt, trust Mahomes, and just move the ball forward, play a little less conservative. I feel like sometimes Andy gets a little conservative around that, that money line right there in the middle of the field. And it's like, our defense is pretty good, man. If we put them on a short field here and there, so be it. I'll take my chances on Mahomes trying to convert a 4th down play.
I mean, the problem with that, I'm with you, but the problem with that, and I think the way Andy's seeing it right now, is that literally your bread and butter is your defense and your run game in this entire season, right? So you start putting the defense in bad situations, and then guess what? Like you're kind of like taking that away because our offense has not been what it should be. Now, I think it will be. I think just the further we get into this season, Mahomes is going to look more like Mahomes. DeAndre Hopkins is going to get comfortable in there. Mahomes is going to get comfortable having DeAndre Hopkins. I think this offense could definitely take off to another level sometime soon, especially with Pacheco coming back. So you got Kareem Hunt's going to get a little extra rest. You're still going to have a guy that's coming in there running hard. And teams are just going to have to adjust to that. You got to think about that, man. We've been able to run on teams pretty well. Kareem Hunt's having, by all means, a great season. Just coming in off the couch to back to the Chiefs and just fitting in like he had been, like 8 years ago or whatever. Like it's like nothing happened.
Make it sound like he just was at home eating Cheetos all off season. Like he didn't even try to practice one time. Like he did 0 workouts.
But no, you have that. We've already had a pretty good running game by the Chiefs standards, by Andy Reid standards. We've had a pretty good running game, right? We've been running the ball more. And
we've committed more. If you look at the stats, we haven't really broken anything off. We're not very we don't average a lot of carries. I think we're one of the worst in the league at that, to be honest. Like our run game is an enigma right now.
But if you notice one thing,
the offense looks more smooth with Kareem Hunt.
Well, I'm just saying in this last game against Denver, if you notice one thing, Kareem Hunt, he had a good game, but he looked gassed. He looked beat up.
Yeah, I don't think Pacheco can get back soon enough for Kareem Hunt.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good when he gets back, man. And then, of course, you still have Crocky J when you need him on the 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, whatever. Run him as a fullback. You've seen him play fullback a few times.
You think it's wild
lead blocking?
You think it's wild that a lot of – I mean, I'm talking probably like 75% of Chiefs Kingdom honestly believes Crocky J has a fumbling problem. Yeah. Like, it's weird. That's a weird narrative, right?
Yeah. They always come up with something.
I just don't think he's got a fumbling. I mean, it was
Mike. He's not a Pro Bowler yet. Look,
it was 2 fumbles in what, 3 weeks?
I'm sorry, but if we wait a second, we didn't waste a draft pick. Oh, if we signed you as a UDFA and we spent $500,000, you damn well better be an All-Pro by week 10.
I don't think he's got a fumbling problem, though, because my point is he wasn't loosey-goosey with the football. Like, I think the defenders just made some really good plays.
That was just unfortunate for him, the way that
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I do not think, like, at the end of the day, like, he's got a fumbling problem.
No.
Now, could he still fumble again in life? Yes.
Well, yeah, I can't. Everybody.
Running backs tend to fumble, son.
I'll tell you what, if he's got a fumbling problem, Travis Kelce has a hell of a fumbling problem. I'll tell you that.
Travis Kelce rubs his fingers in butter before he goes out and decides to do some crazy lateral.
Yeah. Want to say again real quick, appreciate you guys for being here. See more of you rolling in right now. Make sure to hit that like button for us. We're only at like 40, and that's just
get those likes
that's
going.
Unacceptable.
It's downright unacceptable here on a Friday. Look, this is a Friday. This is Red Friday, daggone.
Right, and you're wearing black.
And I'm wearing black because why? I couldn't find my Chiefs hoodie today. I wanted to wear it. Somebody's got it shoved up in a closet somewhere. It's about to piss me off.
Hey,
and you know what?
Appreciate y'all being here, though. Appreciate y'all being here. Another daytime live stream, and it's always good to see new people in, and also the regulars too. Appreciate you guys being here, and like Mike was saying, hit that subscribe button too. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers before the Super Bowl. That was the goal that us and the ACU crew set out to achieve. So it's going to be a tight one. So we'll see how that goes. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. If you're watching on X, make sure to repost that out to your followers. If you're watching on Facebook, share it to your friends. Appreciate y'all being here as well. But yeah, man, let's talk a little bit, and of course we'll get really more in depth into this on the Saturday night tailgate live stream. But you know, we've talked about, damn, Butker's not going to be here for a minute. We got Spencer Shrader.
Poor Butker.
It sucks. Another freaking injury. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Before you say your point, I don't want to cut it off, but the subsection of NFL fans and particularly Chief fans that was happy for Butker's injury because of his personal beliefs are the most sickening individuals on the planet. I'm going to give you that right now. I've seen so many people yesterday celebrating that because of his personal Catholic beliefs.
Mike, if they just didn't like him before that, they didn't have to say anything about the injury. But if you just did not like a person because
But
of
if you're
that-
going to celebrate a man's injury,
Mike, the people that do that were already slap nuts anyway. They're already bad people. They're already dumb.
the
No one
worst of the
cares.
worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know if you're rooting for a person's injury because of how they just live their life, but for their religion, by the way, like how they were, just how they choose to live. Butker tries to be a good person, man. Like he's trying to live by Catholic values.
Talk about tolerance, brother. Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I just can't, dude. I almost passed out. I was like, turn in your Chiefs fan card if you're rooting for Butker to leave, because
Turn in your man card as well.
turn in everything.
Jeez.
Dude, because that's ridiculous.
Whoever
Like, you
said
don't
that
want
needs to go
Butker-
make me a damn sandwich right now. That's what I'm saying.
I need somebody to wash my dishes.
That's some
I
turkey and
cooked
cheese
I
up in
cooked
the
some
fridge.
other
Get
day,
on it.
And it's been sitting there for about 18 hours, and I don't want to touch it. Okay?
Man.
So it is what it is, but here's the thing. That's ridiculous. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're rooting against Butker, like go away. There's a some Raiders fans you can go hang out with or something. That is absurd. Like, I will block you on Twitter if you're rooting against Butker. How about that? Butker's the man. Like, that boy's got some big old balls that he carries around. He's won a lot of games for us, man.
Yeah, Super Bowls.
Super Bowls. We
Super
got a 2
Bowls.
bomb from Steve-O in the house. He says the crocodile hammer going to slap some nuts.
Let's do it, Steve-O.
Dude. Steve-O, you won that picture. Remember that? You won that, like, painting that Pop give us to auction off. Or not auction, but to give away. And I tried to send it out, man. I don't have your address. So if you don't care, throw me your shipping address through email, man, and I'll get that out to you pretty soon. It's a giant package. I'm probably going to be at about $40 with the way the rates are at
Is it a
UPS
Chris
right now.
Jones-sized package?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little smaller, but I appreciate the 2 bombs, Steve-O. You're the man.
Yeah, yep. A lot of people in the chat earlier. I don't think anybody's like super concerned about Butker missing a couple games, but obviously it's not a good thing, especially at this run of games. The stretch of games that he's missing, I think, is more important than the amount of games he's missing.
Right. It's
Because we got,
it's
like
a
I said,
routine. It was a routine surgery cleanup. That's just something that happens.
right.
It
But we
wasn't
have
a big deal.
literally Buffalo. This game coming up is a big game, and then we got the Panthers. That's fine. But after that, you got back-to-back divisional games with the Raiders and the Chargers. So that's 4 games out of the 4 games he's going to miss potentially.
3 are decently important.
3 are very important games, so that it does suck. There are some implications to the Butker injury, but let's just hope Spencer Shrader can come in.
But when it comes down to it, if you have to have an all-world kicker to beat up on the Raiders, who are literally in the basement, like, that's on you. You've got the
True.
best quarterback in the world. Go out and beat the crap out of somebody. You shouldn't have to come down to a freaking kicker. The Chargers,
I don't think any game
the
should
Chargers stink. It should not be that big of a deal to beat them. Like, you should not have to come down to a kicker. Like, go out and assert your dominance. This is the time for
call
Patrick
this an
Mahomes
unpopular opinion,
to get it
but
together and just go out and beat the crap out of
I don't
teams.
think they need. I don't think it should come down to a kicker against Buffalo. Like, okay, I understand Buffalo's a good team. They have a highly rated offense and defense, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, let's be honest here. They've got a lot of new pieces over in Buffalo. They're going to be missing one of their receivers. We don't even know. I think Amari Cooper will probably play, but I don't know how
He's got a
healthy
wrist
he
injury,
is.
man, so it's very
Right.
possible he don't.
So on top of that, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs are the better team in that matchup. I get it. They're playing in Orchard Park. Buffalo's going to give us their best shot. I understand all that. I understand parity in the league. I understand all of this stuff. But I just feel like the Chiefs are far
Do you
and
think
away
our
better than
defense is-
anyone they line up against.
Yeah, do you think our defense is better this year than last year? Or do you still think last year's defense was better? Because last year's defense only give up 20 points to Buffalo.
I think this year's defense is just as good or better than last year.
So Buffalo should be somewhere around the 23 to
And let-
20, somewhere in that range. And let's just say they do a touchdown better. They're sitting at 27. Do the Chiefs have enough firepower to put 28 on the board?
If you
By
have
all
Patrick
means,
Mahomes,
they do.
Travis Kelce, and DeAndre Hopkins on your team, then you should have 30-plus firepower.
You
at
should
any
have
time.
that easily. The
Right.
fact that Kareem Hunt looks as good as he does. Okay,
Yeah.
you've got D-Hop in here, and D-Hop's now been here for almost a month. Travis Kelce has turned it on. You've still got a first-round talent wide receiver out there, Xavier Worthy, that you're just not clicking with for whatever reason. It's just not lining up. But the Chiefs have enough firepower right now that kicker be damned. You don't even have to have a kicker on the field. You can go for 2 every time and go for it on 4th every time in a reasonable amount. And you should be able to take care of teams with this offense. It's that simple. If you get on 3rd and short, 4th and short, you've got 2 giant backs that can go pick it up. And to be honest, P-Ron could probably pick it up half the time.
Got a big back over there.
It's just wild, dude, that we're even here with this.
Yeah, for sure. Mike, we got a 5-bomb from Brave Game On. Says, hello, everyone. I sent you an email about helping setting up Discord for you guys. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll check it out. We got one that we started, we abandoned. A lot of the demographic that watches our channel are not hip.
They're not Discord members.
Sorry.
Look, I don't even understand Discord, and I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself like super old. I mean, I'm old, but I don't even do. I feel like Discord's from like what, the Gen Z crowd.
If that's something that you would like to take over and try to do that yourself, then maybe we could talk about that. We could talk about it. We'll get back to you. Appreciate the 5-bomb, by the way. Sam Lofton been a member for 9 months now. Says more worried about the left tackle. Also, I feel like the O-line is struggling and underperforming. I think there's something to that, but I don't know if I would be worried about it. Like the left tackle position, yeah, sure. Have your worries about that because it is a little odd that they left it where it's at. But as far as the O-line as a whole, I think we've seen enough from our interior offensive line and even Juwan Taylor to know that they'll be fine. Like, we have a really good offensive line. The left tackle position, on the other hand, that's something I'll let you be worried about, Sam Lofton.
Well, this is the thing. Your big 3 are fine, okay? So we know how pass blocking looks. Left tackle struggled at pass blocking this year. We understand that. But then you go to, like, run blocking, and Reid is the 2nd highest rated center in the league run blocking. I always feel like they're never opening up holes, but Trey Smith ranks out as the 8th rated guard in football at run blocking. Joe Tooney is at the 12th rated guard in football. So they're still top 12 in that position. But yeah, Juwan Taylor's run blocking this year, he's the 49th rated tackle, and Wanye Morris is the 64th rated tackle in run blocking. So these tackle positions are not run blocking. I feel like after 3 years of the tackle position trying to get fixed, Juwan Taylor just probably wasn't it, to be honest. I think Brett Veach just kind of missed on that one for what he paid, and that left tackle position is just not where it needs to be. So I understand the struggle, but I would include both tackles at this point.
I don't know if I would go that far. But Peter Ortiz with the 5-bomb. He says the Chiefs are the champions and will be again. They will be fine. For those hating on Harrison, stop being beta. Just stop it. Totally agree. Totally agree here.
Enjoy it, man.
But real quick, I want to touch on your tackle point. Like, I get it. Juwan Taylor's not performing up to par, but I mean, really, his performance is not the bad thing. If you can keep the penalties clean and all that, I think that appeases most of Chiefs Kingdom. But like something that I've noticed, like the run blocking's not there.
Well, I was gonna say
pass blocking.
You're paid $80 million.
I get it. I understand. We knew we overpaid him.
And look, you're not even in the top 32. There's 32 right tackles that play every week, and you're ranked 49th.
That changes nothing, though. We knew they overpaid him before we even knew that was going to happen.
You're behind 17 second stringers.
Either way, I mean, you look at the pass blocking of these. Even last week against the Broncos, Mike. Just like the comparison of how Juwan Taylor does things and how Wanye Morris or Kingsley Suamataia was doing things is night and day difference. Like they would move Nick Bonito around and Juwan Taylor was handling business and they could not. And it's like just simple technique stuff.
Here's the thing,
from what I saw when I watched back at a little bit of the game, like it's literally just like simple technique stuff that I think these young guys are just not getting right. And Juwan Taylor has that.
Well, yeah, but there's a big difference here. There's a big difference in the NFL playing right tackle and playing left tackle. Left tackles are the one that make the most money because they're protecting the blind side. The right tackles don't have to do that as much.
Not on our team.
So guess what?
We'll pay that right tackle.
You wanted to go out and pay the right tackle and let the left tackle be a revolving door of young talent.
That's so strange.
That made no sense.
But you know what's weird? They already, I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it really just doesn't make sense as to why out of all the positions we paid the right tackle and let the left tackle be the revolving door of weird.
Right. Rick's Chiefin with the 10 bomb. What's up, my man? He says we could really use Omenihu for this game. The pressure he would have against Josh Allen would be a game changer. So I don't think Omenihu will be back for this one. Like, obviously, I think they opened the window for him and Isaiah Pacheco. I don't think either of them will see the field this week.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be back this week, but I think one or both could be back next.
It's going to be close. Like,
but do you rush them back versus the Panthers? Is it necessary?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or do you just bring them back and you can play them limited?
That's
right,
the thing. Like, maybe that's a game you can get them back up to speed with. I'm not for sure. But, dude, Omenihu coming back is going to be huge for this team because you start thinking about the other pieces they added with Josh Uche and even Cam Thomas, if he could ever get it together for whatever reason. They haven't used him a whole lot. And then you have Karlaftis over there who does George Karlaftis stinks. I think our edge rushers are starting to look a lot better than they were at the beginning of the season. And then Felix has not, like, blown anybody's socks off, but Felix is getting better.
Felix is starting to feel like more of a piece you can
He's getting better.
Use.
And then, of course, you still have Mike Dana and Malik Herring. Those are guys that are rotational and can do certain things right. Mike Dana.
Who are the Chiefs going to cut? Not cut, but who are they going to drop off the roster when you start bringing back these two guys? That's who I'm wondering that one.
Just throw a dart.
Right? Do you think somebody like a Malik Herring might go down?
I think it's a possibility, but I don't know. I think Malik Herring does a lot for the team in the run game. Like, if you watch him, like, he's very good at setting the edge there and holding his ground and stopping
a lot better
runs.
than like, you kind of thought he could be.
Yeah,
he's progressing very slowly, but at least he's progressing, I guess.
Yeah. Appreciate the 10, though, Rick. And then our boy Kyle, been a member for 14 freaking months now, says with Butker out, next man up has to be the entire offense getting touchdowns consistently. I agree. So, that was kind of the sentiment that I think Mike pointed out earlier, and I think so, too. It's just we should have to rely on a kicker. When you have a team like the Chiefs have, an offense like the Chiefs have right now, I mean, literally, so I watched an interview earlier with Brett Veach on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
And Pat McAfee kind of said it best. He's like, you literally have Hall of Famers falling out of the damn closets around there. He was like, your head coach, your defensive coordinator, your special teams coordinator. He's like, not to mention, your quarterback's a Hall of Famer, your tight end's a Hall of Famer. You just went and got a freaking Hall of Fame receiver for a 5th-round pick. He was like, they're literally everywhere.
Dude, you got a future Hall of Famer in Joe Tooney.
Right. So why are you so worried? Like, we should not have to worry about
Patrick
a kicker
Mahomes.
missing 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah. There's so many. Chris Jones is a future Hall of Famer. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
it's crazy, dude.
Joe Tooney. These are all future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I just don't understand why we could be that concerned over trying to keep teams within a field goal. Now, I will say Buffalo, and to win good games with tight teams, yeah, you're going to need that.
Try to talk over that train just going
I love
crazy,
the train, baby.
son.
I love the train. Pops in here with the 5 gifted.
The member train.
Putting the sub train on.
What's going on,
love
Pops? Oh, Pops is recovering from a hand surgery. I think he's finally, like, not.
Yeah. Dude, for everybody wondering, we had a day on Wednesday. Pops, we get Pops to the hospital at 7 a.m., and they're like, look, as soon as you check in, you'll sit there for about an hour. We'll have him in surgery. We'll have him out. No, they didn't check him in for an hour. They didn't get him prepped for 2 hours. We didn't get out of the hospital for like 7 hours.
Yeah, I was just chilling.
It was insane. I don't know what's happening, but Pops is recovering from the hand. Appreciate everybody that reached out and asked how that was going. Pops is hopefully doing good. Not too hyped up on hydrocodone at the moment.
Pops, better lay off of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pops, go walk a little bit.
If you get one of those memberships, make sure to thank the old man in the chat. But yeah, man, I feel like this Chiefs team's just good enough all around to where we've had to deal with injuries all year. And that's another thing Brett Veach said in that same interview. He was like, if you would have told me in the offseason that by week 11 that we were going to be 9-0 and some of the biggest pieces of our offense was going to be Kareem Hunt and DeAndre Hopkins, I would have laughed in your face. He's like,
that's strange, right?
It's just how the year went. And it's crazy. And he also talked about how they were actively trying to get DeAndre Hopkins since He wanted out of Arizona, which we knew. We've talked about it for 2 years now, it seems like. They just happened to get outbid. He admitted they got outbid by the Tennessee Titans, so they were going after him then.
Which to me is wild. Why did DeAndre Hopkins worry about getting certain amounts of money? Like, the dude's been paid so much in his career. Why not have came to the Chiefs and won a Super Bowl?
My only guess would be that it wasn't close.
Who cares?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like out of pure principle, sometimes you just have to be like, that's kind of a smack in the face. I don't know. I don't think I can accept that. You know? So maybe it was just a low ball.
Well, they give him a bag of Doritos? Like, okay, look, if you've got what, even, do you think they even offered him what they offered Hollywood?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. I find it weird that these guys want to win, but yet they always seem to just always do what's best for the bank account. It's very odd. I mean, you've seen it this year. Alvin Kamara, the dude wanted. He's telling Sean Payton to come get him after they lose to the Broncos, and that same week, 3 days later, he signs a long-term extension.
So I think you have to think about things like I think about that kind of stuff sometimes, and I think what it really boils down to is they only are in this career for a short amount of time, right? And you're like. And they got to stack their money while they can because they have a whole life to live after they retire. And they have, you know, their kids, grandkids. They want to make sure they have all
Steve,
that
in
set.
one season.
Wait.
They have more money
than
the average American in a lifetime.
I already know, and I understand. But I think what happens is they start living to that standard, that stupid lifestyle to where they want to pay $10,000 for a jacket or $250,000 for a car.
And then they can't get out of it.
They can't do it.
They get addicted to it.
Exactly. There's no way they could go back to being a normal human being.
They can't have hamburger helper, cheeseburger, macaroni for dinner anymore.
They have to have their personal chef. They have to have this. I think it literally.
So they got soft in life.
Yes, it's exactly that. I think at a certain point they get spoiled with that, and that's what they're used to, and that's what they want to continue to have throughout their entire life.
So you're telling me how to win, how to be tough, how to build an 85 Bears team. You find the most poor guys that just want to eat TV dinners, that don't care about it. They're just all about the win. They don't even want the money.
That's what I was talking about.
That's what you got to do. A bunch of hungries eating Hungry Mans. They still make Hungry Mans? I remember Pops used to love a Hungry Man. He'd come home from work, pop in a Hungry Man. You remember those?
Mike, you trying to get a sponsorship from Hungry Man?
I'll take a sponsorship.
Do they even
from anybody
exist
at this point? That's what I said.
That's ridiculous.
Got to do what you got to do.
So let's talk about the Bills matchup just a little bit. But before we do, please hit that like button for us. It helps us out. And also, I wanted to bring up some merchandise we have over at merch.allchiefedup.com. Get over there. You guys can buy some merch. You can buy some Christmas gifts. We have out the Merry Chiefsmas sweaters and hoodies. You can go snag one of those. And right now, if you use the code ACU Santa, you get 20% off for the rest of the year. Anything in the store. So get over there and buy yourself something nice. Look snazzy, look sexy in your all chiefed up gear, and get your friends something for Christmas. I mean, use the discount code. Have some fun. I mean, who don't want one of those?
Yeah, that's what's up. I wish people would quit calling me in the middle of the day. I just
don't you ever call me.
Look, there's one call I've been waiting on for like a week, so I turned my ringer on from a guy who, by the way, is kind of important, and it's something to do with this show, actually. And he needs to fire his agent. His agent's horrible. I'm sorry if you're watching this, but this dude's horrible. Every time I call him, he sends me to voicemail. He writes me a message. He won't return my call. This dude's ridiculous. Like, it's hard to work with, and it's preventing something cool from happening, actually. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Like that agent doesn't give a crap about you, son.
I don't think he gives a crap about the client. Let's put it that way.
Probably. Mike, you should just call him and leave this as a voicemail.
You're a stupid dumbass.
I might. He's like, dude, Butthead called me today. Tell me I was an idiot.
Let's do it.
I don't know, man. But yeah, let's talk about Buffalo just a little bit, man. I don't want to jump into it too much still. I mean, I guess we can. It's Friday. It's Red Friday. It's coming up in two
Yeah,
days.
Tomorrow night we'll be doing the tailgate, though, and we'll get more in depth. But I just want to talk about a couple things here. So, we know what the injury reports are looking like at this point, and we know that Josh Allen is Josh Allen. We know that the Bills are going to play their best game of the season against the Chiefs. They're at home, so everyone in Buffalo who has a hard-on for the Chiefs and hating them is going to be there being annoying, and that's just what they do. So it's like this is going to be a tough game and a tough environment. But honestly, the big injury for us is Butker. I mean, we already knew the other guys were out, right? So, I mean, everybody else, we're
right. Butker's
decently healthy. But, I mean, even with that being said, and then looking at their team and knowing that they don't have their rookie wide receiver, who I don't think has contributed as much as people would believe. And then also they have Amari Cooper, who they traded for, but he's nursing a wrist injury. So, I mean, they have James Cook, who's having a pretty good year at running back, but
James
at the
Cook
same
does
time,
pretty well against us.
He does, but at the same time, the Chiefs have absolutely shut down the league's running backs this year. So, I mean, that doesn't really scare me that much.
No, but you know why James Cook is dangerous is because
the pass game.
Yeah, they use him in the pass game. They get him on the edge, and they take advantage of our linebackers and our lack of quickness from linebackers, especially Nick Bolton. That's where you'll get your trouble. When Nick Bolton gets out in a foot race, he's not somebody that's going to beat you right there. He's going to beat you in the A-gap. He's going to hit you, but he's not going to run with you. And that's where you've got a little bit of problems. But maybe the Chiefs adjust, man. Maybe you let Drew Tranquil be that guy all day long. Just be like, shadow this kid. I don't know. But you're going to have somebody shadow Josh Allen because he's going to get out of the pocket every chance he can. He wants to be Lamar Jackson. He wants to be Mahomes. He don't know who he wants to be. He just wants to be an annoying hair in your biscuit. That's what that guy is. That's an old Southern saying. He's a hair in my biscuit. That's what he is.
Isn't that the Bills in general over the last few years?
They're just a bunch of try-hard slapnuts that don't win in the big games, okay? But it's annoying because in the regular season, they're hanging banners out here. So you know they're going to play the best game they played all year.
That's what I'm saying. So what do you think? What do you think the game plan should be for this Buffalo team? Like as far as our offense goes.
As far as our offense goes, quit stalling out on drives. Get the ball in the end zone. That's the game plan. Put the ball in the end zone.
How do you do that though? What's the game plan to do that?
The same way we have been doing. Let Kareem Hunt run behind this offensive line, run behind the three because obviously the tackles can't block to save their lives. But use the run game to slow down the pass rush. Okay, that's what you're going to have to do. If Wanye's healthy, that helps a little bit because Wanye has vastly been a lot better on the edge than Kingsley has been. But if you have to get to that point where you're using Kingsley, you're just daggone in trouble. You might as well run the ball every play because he's a better pass or run blocker than pass blocker at this point in his career. You're going to have to do something. But look, you've got Kelsey. Mahomes and Kelsey still got a chemistry. Use it. Kelsey always tends to beat up on the Bills a little bit. Hit the big play to Xavier Worthy for once in your life. Just throw a good pass to him out there. Worthy, stay in bounds. How about that?
Well,
so you've got a couple things to work on, but if they just do what they've been doing but convert it and execute it, I think they're fine.
Well, I think they got to lean into the new piece they have. I'm all for running the ball when we get in the red
too.
zone because they tend to get away from the run game once we get into the red zone, which is weird. So I think they need to stick with that. But I think they also got to rely on DeAndre Hopkins. His entire career, he's a Hall of Famer because of what he can do on third down and in the red zone. That's what DeAndre Hopkins is. He's a scoring machine. We saw it not last week, but the week before that. Throw him the ball. Just throw him the freaking ball. He's going to catch it.
This may sound stupid too, though, but you know who else they need to utilize more? And you keep waiting for it to happen, and it felt like it was going to happen all the way up, but over the past few weeks, he's kind of disappeared again. Noah Gray.
Yeah.
We can use Noah Gray. Please use him in several situations. Like, you can line him up anywhere. You can line him up at fullback. You can line him up in the slot. You can let the guy go out wide. Like, use Noah Gray some. Like, this kid is a weapon. Use him.
Yeah, I think so. But I really do think, like, when you get in the red zone, stick with the run game. If you get inside the 10, stick with the run game. If it's not working on the first 2-3 downs, just take a shot at D-Hop. Just give him the opportunity to catch the ball because he's going to catch it 9.9 times out of 10 with his big alien hands, bro.
Don't quit relying on trick plays in the red zone. Quit.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Whatever gets you there, continue it.
Right. Brandon Shannon with the 2 bomb says, why don't we screen pass and check down? So here's the thing. A lot of people would argue that that's all the Chiefs do. They've actually said that Patrick Mahomes is playing like Alex Smith and that he is a yak merchant, and that's what the Chiefs do.
Check down king.
But, I could see that.
There's truth to it.
I could see that. But at the same time, like last week, playing the Broncos literally blitz on 36% of plays.
Yeah.
And what did I say before we ever started that game, Mike? Why don't they use the screen game?
Yeah.
Use the screen game to counter that blitz. And they did it a couple times. It was very effective, but they didn't do it very much. Like, I feel like they could have just really racked up some yardage there. Just being patient on
targets
some of
on the day.
I know, but I feel like they could have done that more often because every time they did it, it was highly effective. So at some point, the Broncos would have had to stop blitzing every 2.5 plays or adjust, like whatever it is. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what Brandon's talking about. But I think overall, I think the Chiefs do screen pass. And I think Patrick Mahomes does check down quite a bit. I have noticed that Patrick Mahomes, when he does check down, though, he's not the most accurate passer when he's checking down. Have you ever noticed that? Like, how many, missed balls do you see between him and a running back over on a check down? I feel like it's a common theme.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to bring this up. I'm not going to bring it up on the screen, but aggressiveness. There's a stat called aggressiveness that Next Gen Stats uses. And what aggressiveness is I'll read you the exact term in their glossary. But it's a check down stat. Aggressiveness tracks the amount of passing attempts that a quarterback makes that are into tight coverage. So how tight the coverage is. Where the defender is within 1 yard or less of a receiver. Aggressiveness is shown as a percent of attempts in the tight windows. So checking down is not throwing into a tight window, right? Like throwing passes to receivers and things are tight windows. Mahomes is a 6.8. He leads the league in that. The closest one to him is Spencer Rattler, who only played in like a game at 8.1. So he's a full point. Almost 1.5 points below Spencer Rattler. And then the next lowest is Lamar Jackson at 9.4. So almost 3 full percent, which means Patrick Mahomes will not throw into tight windows ever. Does that make any sense, right? So outside of that, he does not throw in the tight yardage. We see that. So then if you look back at these other percentage ones over here, the average air yard differentials and the average completed air yards, okay? Those tell you how long you pass. So average completed air yards, Patrick Mahomes at 3.8. He is the lowest in the league at air yards, which means he does not throw the ball deep. 3.8. The closest one to him is Baker Mayfield at 4. But after that, any elite quarterback is nowhere near him. Give me an elite quarterback in this league. Jared Goff. Jared Goff's at a 7.2. That's a full 3 yards higher. Josh Allen, almost an 8. That's 4 yards higher. Matt Stafford, an 8. Joe Burrow, an 8. That's just going to show, and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm just going to show you that he does not like to throw the ball deep. He's been checking down a lot, and he doesn't throw in the tight windows. He don't take as many shots in the tight windows. So he takes the safe route, and that's usually what? That's a check down.
You know what's funny,
to the line, and it's a check down.
As safe as Mahomes actually does play it when you really look into it, and he gets all those ridiculous interceptions.
It's because they're not turnover-worthy plays. It's just bad luck. That's what it is.
A lot of it is.
It's a receiver tipping the ball up in the air, just something weird. It's not Mahomes' bad. It's not bad play per se. Yeah. It's just bad luck.
Yep. Wiley says week 9, Worthy messed up the deep ball. Week 10, Mahomes sailed the deep ball. So they just both need to be on the same page at the same time. I think that's exactly it. I think I can't say they don't have any chemistry because I think early in the season you saw that they did. And it's possible for them to connect on deep balls. They were doing it. I mean, if Mahomes puts the ball in the right spot, I think Worthy can track a ball pretty well. He does have to work on his field awareness and stuff like that because, I mean, he's young. So
didn't we kind of determine last week when the ball sailed on him, the wind could have been a factor there?
Yeah.
The wind was ripping.
Yeah, we can use that one.
The week before, Worthy stepped out of bounds. I will say that, but Patrick Mahomes delayed that throw a little bit. Mahomes could have threw the ball a little bit faster.
To his point, to Wiley's point, once they're on that
once
same
they get
page,
it together,
It's just a matter of time, matter of reps, right?
I don't know why my camera lost focus, but it's a small thing that hopefully they can get it together. It's just something very tiny, but in the scheme of things, when you're throwing the ball 50 yards down the field, if you're off by a minuscule half an inch, by the time 50 yards comes, that's going to be 2 yards out. So It's just something like that, man. These guys are going fast.
Yeah. Daniel Akers says D-Hop's going to have a good game. I kind of agree. I think this could be a good game for D-Hop. And then also, you have to remember, I think there was some talk about D-Hop going to Buffalo last year before he went to Tennessee. And I think D-Hop had some interest in playing there, but something didn't. I don't even think they offered him. I can't remember what come out, but something weird happened there. So maybe D-Hop shows out. We'll see. Our boy Kyle's letting everybody know that Butker just posted that his surgery went great. So that's good news. Glad that's done. Now he can heal, get back out on the field.
Yeah, it was just a routine meniscus cleanup. Yeah. So, I mean, surely he's going to be back. I would say he could be back by week 3. They may go ahead and you have to miss 4 games, but can't you start a practice window early?
Sure.
So technically they could start his practice window at week 3, but he just don't have to, he can't play in the 4th week. So I don't think he'll miss no more than 4.
Yeah. Me neither. I think that's kind of where it's going to be at. And that's okay. It does suck that stretch of games that it happened in, but at least you should have them back when you turn around and have to play the Texans and the Steelers within 4 days of each other. And then you'll have them back playing for the playoffs, healthy and ready to go. So I think that's the main thing. This Chiefs team, if they were to get Marquise Brown back right before the playoffs, which I don't know if that's a possibility, but I know people's throwing it around.
Right.
Juju were to stay healthy after returning from that hamstring. Of course, Butker comes back. You got Omenihu back. You got Pacheco back. I mean, this Chiefs team could just be the healthiest they've been all season, minus the major Rashee Rice injury and stuff like that. But, I mean, the Chiefs are in a really damn good spot. I mean, to be 9-0 with all these injuries, with all the bad games they've played, but finding ways to win, and then them still trying to kind of figure things out with new pieces on offense at the last second. The defense always plays better in the back half of the season. Spag's defenses always continue to get better. I just think the Chiefs are in an incredible spot, and I think people have to be happy about that. No matter what kind of problems you think the Chiefs have had so far this year, you couldn't be in a better position.
Right. That's just kind of the thing here. I was going to bring this up so everybody could see what we were talking about. 10 minutes ago, surgery went great. Thanks for the prayers. So Butker's posting. This is about time. This is about right. When you go into surgery, this is about time Pops got finished with surgery. They'll bring you in. He's been sitting there since 7 o'clock this morning, ready to roll. But I'll say this season started with a 3-peat in mind, right? 3-peat. That was the goal. 3-peat, 3-peat, 3-peat. But along the lines of escaping a game, escaping another game, winning a game, escaping another, somehow we found ourselves at 9-0. And now you're putting added pressure on these guys. So now it's not just 3-peat. Now we got to do an undefeated season 3-peat. Like, come on. The goalpost is shifting. Like, are you fine with a 3-peat, or do you have to have the undefeated? You don't have to have an undefeated season to make the 3-peat better.
Wouldn't it be
It would be great.
Wouldn't it
but
be
if
nice
you lose
to
it, you lose it.
Right, it's whatever. But wouldn't it be really cool to do both? Like just two historical things at one time?
Come on.
Slim to none.
When the Dolphins did it, they were not playing 17 games in a season, bro.
Right.
Isn't this an extra game that Brady and them had to do? I don't think Brady even played this. I'm not 100% for sure, but didn't they do it? There was a game shorter than what we're playing now. Maybe. I don't know. I'm old. I can't remember things.
Yeah, me too.
We got Chief Hawk, Chief Royal Hawk. Sorry, I said all that backwards. Sorry. Not having Butker will hopefully make the Chiefs go for it and score more touchdowns. Yeah, we kind of touched on that, right? Like, hopefully now they get a little more aggressive. Hopefully Andy relies on certain players in certain positions, and you don't really have to use this kid so much. But remember the name of Spencer Shrader, Steve.
Okay. I won't forget it.
Don't forget.
Hopefully,
you did earlier. You said, who in the world did they sign?
Good things.
Big Spence?
Flip in the house with the 10 bomb says Mahomes placed the ball where only the receivers can catch it. Definitely a hard catch, but it wasn't impossible if Worthy just simply had tracked the ball. Kelsey admitted to his fault in the end zone. Okay, so we could twist things all we want, but let's be honest here. The throw to Worthy on that sideline was uncatchable. Not even close to catchable. Kelsey, I don't care what Kelsey did. It wouldn't have mattered what he did differently. That ball went to the first row. Like, those were terrible throws.
Steve, Mahomes, look, people take the words these guys
Terrible
say way
throws.
too
Mahomes
literally.
is just out there like, first of all, he's going to take the blame. But then you're going to have those guys.
He's got an AI of how to answer a perfect question from a quarterback. They asked him about Kingsley and them, and Mahomes actually with a straight face said, I don't worry about my blind side and my tackles. I have 100% faith. Everybody comes here every week and says, Mahomes stinks because he's worried, he's dancing, he don't trust his tackles. And then he comes out in week 10 and says, after a game that we just seen of horrendous everything, he tells us that he 100% trusts us and looks us in the face and expects us to believe that. He's also got riverfront, or he's got oceanfront property for sale up there in KC too. Like, come on. Nobody's buying it. Steve, are you buying it? Does he 100% believe that his tackles, he trusts them 100%?
No. Hell no, he doesn't. Why would he?
Mahomes just dances in the pocket and misses throws all the time because he's just he's back in the backfield, having a little tap dance competition in his head. I don't know what he's doing. Like, what's he want to take the blame for?
It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Sorry, I was typing something. But no, I just, that's the thing. Mahomes is always going to say the right thing. Even when it's not like football related, the guy's perfectly PR trained. I mean, when they were talking about Britney being a Trump supporter or his mother being a Trump supporter, of course, here come the floodgates open with the media. And Patrick Mahomes had the perfect answer every freaking time, left and right. So do you think he's really not going to be prepared for the typical,
Right.
did you, was that what happened there on that pass or whatever? He's always going to say the right
he's
thing.
going to do it. Appreciate the 10 bomb there, Flip.
Yeah, let's go, Flip.
Lumpy says, agree on the throw to Kelsey, but look again to the Worthy throw. The wind took it from the. Yeah, we said that.
Yeah,
the wind took it.
Yeah, sure.
It was. That's a theory.
No. I mean, really, if you watch the video, I could definitely
you can see the wind take it, but I mean, yeah. But at the same time, if the wind don't blow, where does the ball go? Like, we're not all scientists that could be like, well, if the wind hadn't have blown 3.1 miles an hour, that would have been a perfect, like, maybe they'll do a, what's those one things that you used to do? Remember how Next Gen would come on and they would show, like, what would happen if something didn't happen? Let's have them take that throw and say, if the wind gust hadn't appeared, it would have been perfectly placed. I'd have loved to have seen it.
Yep. I guess, I mean, as far as conditions go, I mean, there's always wind, at certain places. I'm sure this game coming up against Buffalo at Orchard Park.
What about the weather in Orchard Park?
It's not going to be
cold.
What did we say on the video the other day? It's not going to be a walk in Orchard Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orchard
So, I mean,
Park.
I think Mahomes definitely could be playing better than he has been this season. He knows that. Everybody
it's
knows
not too
that.
bad. Sunday's going to be 54 degrees as a high.
That's not bad.
It's a 4:00 game. Yeah, so it's going to be between 54 and 50. By the time the game's over, it's going to be close to 50 degrees. That is not bad at all. They shouldn't struggle at all. It shouldn't be any kind of weather. I think it's going to be nice, too. It's not showing anything, just cloudy. No % chance of precipitation. And the closest thing to rain is going to be Wednesday. So there's no chance that anything comes in. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a decent game. Will the Chiefs win? I'm not ready to make my prediction just yet, but honestly, this is the toughest game by far we're going to play this year. I think everybody knows that, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we've played some tough games, but we all know that this is basically a playoff game for Buffalo. Buffalo knows they have to win this game.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't, they hate the Chiefs so much at this point. They're still going to play it like that. After the Buffalo game, of course, the two divisional games right there in a row with the Raiders and the Chargers, that's important. And then you got another Panthers-type game with the Browns, right? But then you just go right back into the Texans and the Steelers, who are both competing in the AFC. Both going to be good games, and that's a four-day rest period, a 4-day rest period between the Texans and the Steelers, who, by the way, you're playing away at Pittsburgh on Christmas Day. So, I mean,
the Texans game at home?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking it was. I wouldn't think they would put you away 2 games in a row with 4 days rest.
It wouldn't surprise me if the NFL did that. I mean, the stretch of 2 times where they played 3 games in 10 days last year,
right,
showed me that they did not give any craps about what the Chiefs think.
If the undefeated season's over, well, no, that's not the last game, is it? Christmas is the last game. It's a week before the last game. I was going to say if the undefeated season's out and the 1 seed's wrapped, could you maybe see the starters not even play on Christmas? Would that be a Christmas gift to Mahomes? Get a week of rest. But it's not the final game of the season, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to end up having to play it. I mean, you're going to play it, but surely they'll figure it out. They've played other games on 4 games rest. I think we did it last year a few times too.
Right.
You know what? The Texans have not. I mean, the Texans are solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Stroud's not been a world beater. They've actually lost, Stephon Diggs for the season. They're not the elite, top-tier, unbeatable team that everybody was trying to portray them as going to be coming into this year. So,
yeah. I don't know why the people were giving them so much
and
hype
honestly,
anyway.
Pittsburgh don't scare me that much. Does Russ Wilson scare you that much? I mean, come on.
I think the thing about both of those teams, I think they're both
Pittsburgh's got a solid defense.
And I think both teams are very well coached, and they're usually up for the occasion. So, I mean that's something
Tomlin
you have to keep in
and
mind.
D'Amico Ryan, both good coaches,
Right? So there's that. But no, man, I think the Chiefs can keep rolling. I think they can do what they do, and they're only going to be getting better. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Here, I want to take this comment here. N.O. says, Chiefs are going to lose, and very sadly, this will start their collapse. I don't want that to happen, but I've seen the story. Overachievers and then decimated by injuries. It's looking
You're
bad.
a stupid dumbass.
I'm just kidding.
I
had to do it.
I think you just wanted to use it. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Now, look, they could lose this game, but I don't see like a total collapse.
No, I don't either. And I know what he's saying, because a lot of teams that start out like high every year, like
right.
I mean, you've seen teams like 9-0, 10-0.
Right, but look, if you include B.J. Thompson and Charles Omenihu right now, Butker is going to make the 12th person on our roster out.
It's ridiculous.
IR.
Yeah.
But look, it's not even the most. You want to know who's got the most? 15. The Detroit Lions, who is absolutely just rolling through. Now, look, the quality of our players compared to their quality of players on ours is probably a little different.
Right.
Like, they didn't lose their wide receiver 1. It'd be a lot different maybe if they lost, like, Amon-Ra St. Brown or something like that. But point is good teams find ways to win, good coaches find ways to win, and that's the way it is. So both teams is the class of their conferences, the Lions in the NFC and the Chiefs in the AFC so far, decimated by injuries. So it's just something everybody's dealing with, man. Injuries have been up around the league. I don't know what it is. Is it more of just the speed and the physicality of the game is just it's a lot on a body? Is it because that they go year-round pretty much now with training and everything? They don't get any time off the rest of their bodies? Is it because they don't do a lot during the preseason to get their bodies ready? So, there's so many factors here, but I feel like there's been more injuries. And just every year, injury after injury.
I don't think that's
just starting to pile it up, man.
I think they.
Well, it's got to be one of the two. Either you're overworked or you're not working hard enough.
That
your body's not figuring it out.
I just think it's
you just think it's all bad luck year in and year out.
A little bit of misfortune. I mean, I'm sure some players.
But I'm talking league wide. The injuries have just been going up every year. Like this year's been the worst until last year, and then until next year.
I think you've seen an uptick in non-contact injuries. Absolutely.
There's got to be reasons for it, right?
Turf is one. Just kind of the way the offenses are ran now. Just different things like that.
The way that they're so hyper-focused on player safety.
Right.
And changing kickoff rules and changing these rules.
All that's great, and you should be. But sometimes when you're messing with this, it's going to have an effect.
Right, all that, but yet they still allow turf, certain kind of turf. It makes no sense.
Right. Oh, well, I don't care because I'm not in charge of that. Okay? I don't work for the NFL. and I'm not their safety.
Steve
coordinator.
or E.T. Man, I was
Stone Cold
E.T. for
E.T.
Christmas. Stone Cold E.T. wants a couple cheeseburgers. He said it's Kincaid out.
Yes.
I don't know if he's has he been ruled out already?
Yeah, I think I saw somebody saying it in the chat earlier.
I knew he
just
was
out of
like
the blue.
on the IR, not the IR, but the injury
He's
report.
questionable. But
Right,
31 team pre says yes, Kincaid is out. Wiley says he's listed as doubtful. Did they come out with something? Did they come out with something lately and just saying he's not playing? Or
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Here, I'll check it. They're going to release their final. They're going to release their final thing today for the week, so you'll know today. But I'm almost positive he was just considered doubtful.
Yeah. 31 team pre says it's the NFL. Fellas, injuries are part of the game. That's 100% true. The Chiefs have been so fortunate in the last few years with injuries. It was only a matter of time before that kind of stuff started happening. It's unfortunate that all of it happened at one time. But I mean, you had to expect like that kind of luck to run out eventually, because we'd been very, very, very fortunate on the injury thing. So, also he said he was listed as out yesterday. So
Yeah, he did not practice on Wednesday. But it says here, Ian Rappaport said that he has 2 more practices, Thursday and Friday, to upgrade himself. So if they think if he can go limited today, then he could be a game time decision. So it's a knee injury, and it was a non-contact injury, I think, too, against the Colts. But, we've seen the same thing with Wanye, too. Like, so, you never know. Wanye looked like he was fine last week, and then he had to leave, and then he came back. Or I think he came back.
Right, and then, like, even the Juju thing, like, he had that touch-and-go hamstring thing, and he started
But then
the
that
game.
turned into something wild.
Yeah, after, like, a play. So
it sucks, man. Injuries are just always going to be part of the game. But yeah, like you said, I think for the last few years we've kind of been okay with them, and this year it's just like it's getting hit by a Mack truck 24/7. But I guess the moral of the whole story is if Mahomes just plays at a high level, he could take a team of middle schoolers on a field and beat you. That's just how good Patrick Mahomes is. So no matter what it is, as long as Patrick Mahomes is ready to play and he plays any given game, the Chiefs are right in it. We got a chance to win that, in my opinion. I mean, he's won with scrubs his entire career, just about at the wide receiver.
The Chiefs
position.
always have a chance to win,
right? With Andy and Patrick, you've got a chance to win. And then like you just said, but it's not just Andy and Patrick. Yeah, you're missing Butker. You're missing Hollywood Brown. You're missing Rashee Rice. You're missing Omenihu. You're missing Pacheco. Big deal. You still got Chris Jones. You still got George Karlaftis. You still got Justin Reid. You still got Nick Bolton. You still got Trent McDuffie. That's your defense. You've still got D-Hop, a Hall of Famer. You've got a Hall of Famer in Kelsey. You've got a Hall of Famer. You've got a big 3 interior line. You've got Kareem Hunt. Like, this team has still got weapons. So
absolutely,
there's just no way you should let a field goal kicker affect your team and say that your season's over.
And you know what? I don't think anyone.
Insane.
Honestly, I don't think I've seen anyone, even in the chat today, that legitimately thinks that.
I don't think so either. I think a lot of Chiefs fans are smarter than that.
Like, super worried about that, I'm surprised. I was looking at Jane's comment here. It says the way the NFL is advertising this game is crazy. If we lose, we are still top of the AFC. And with that being said, are you super surprised they did not flex this game to prime time? It's the Chiefs versus the Bills in Orchard
But
Park.
it is going to be the prime time evening block game. So they still got the NFL wants a big prime game in every block, morning block, evening block, prime time. So, I mean, who's playing this Sunday night game?
I'm not for sure. It's the Cowboys or somebody.
Let me look it up. Well, if it's the
Those
Cowboys,
stanking
now we're in
ass
trouble.
Cowboys.
Yeah, if it's that, you're in trouble this week because the Cowboys are without. So I think it's going to be, let me see. Geez, you can't find it anywhere. What in the hell, Bobby? Okay, hold up. It's going to be Bengals and Chargers. So, I mean, that's not as big of a game. I understand that. But Bengals Chargers, in a way, has a little bit of like wild card playoff possibility. You've got Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow. You've got Jamar Chase. So there's something there, right? There's a little bit of something there for people to watch, I guess. But I'm with you. I mean, this is a much bigger game, but I think they just want something in every slot that does well. So I don't know, man. But yeah, the Buffalo's only going to be down. Buffalo's not had a bye week yet, right? So if they win, yes, they're still down a game, but that's only because they haven't took their bye week. Technically, they'll have the same amount of wins. They'll just have one more loss, in which, let's say Buffalo's bye week is 2 weeks from now, and we was the lay an egg that week and lose, well, then guess what? Now you're magically tied. So it's not because we've actually been one game better. It's because we've just took the bye. So Buffalo's actually done pretty well this year, Steve. You thought they were going to have a nice little falling off.
I think
a lot of people did.
I didn't think it'd be like bad, but I did think it'd be a step back from what they had been.
And technically, what are they? 8-2?
Yeah,
Not bad.
no, they're not bad at all. I think I was looking at something the other day. They're like top 3 offense in the NFL right now. I can't remember exactly which number, but they're getting like 340 yards of offense per game. And then on defense, they're actually like a top, I want to say 7.
They're the number
defense.
number 3rd in points scored, which is what you said, 290. And points allowed, they're number 9 in the league with 193. So as a team grade, they are tied for 13th offense, tied for 13th defense, 13th in special teams, and that makes them overall the 14th rated team according to PFF across the board. Pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I'd be curious to see what the Chiefs would be on that. I think that's pretty close is what, I mean, again, this is just the PFF metric, but it is what it is. People's always going to complain about something. The Chiefs are 4th in points allowed, 161, so that's better. 15th in points scored, that's worse. 10th in special teams, that's better. We're actually the number 7th overall rated team, and they're 13th. So according to PFF, we're a better team front to back by about 7 teams. They think there's 7 teams in between that. Very curious as to who those 7 teams would be, because Buffalo is not that shabby. Huh?
No, they're a good
wild,
team,
man.
They're a good team. Like I said, I thought they'd take a little bit of a step back just because they lost, Stephon Diggs. They lost Gabe Davis. A lot of different things happened. They lost a lot of their defense, both their safeties.
Yeah.
So I thought, they might take a step back, but they've done a pretty decent job with what they have. So they're still always going to be a competitive team just because, like, as much as I hate him, Josh Allen is going to make you competitive. I mean, he's not to the level of Patrick Mahomes, but I mean, if he's playing, he's going to give you a chance to win.
Right. So here it is. This is their power rankings. Number 1, the Chiefs. They score us at 8.8, a point spread rating. The 5th hardest strength of schedule, and a 21% chance to win the Super Bowl, which is super high. Number 2 is Detroit, and I mean, come on, we all knew that. That's the top 2. Number 3 is the Ravens. Number 4, they still actually have San Francisco, and number 5 is Buffalo. They give Buffalo a 9% chance to win the Super Bowl and a 99.9% chance to make the playoffs. So even as they sit right now, they got a 99.9% chance and a 99% chance to win their division. They've actually got a 3% higher chance to win the division title than we do. We're only sitting at a 96%. That's wild, dude.
That is crazy. Chief KT said, "Look who the Bills played."
Yeah, who have they played?
Appreciate the 2, Chief KT. Thanks for the support, brother.
Let me check it out. I'm right here. They
Is
played
it bad?
the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals, but the Cardinals have been playing a little bit better.
They barely beat the Cardinals. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a 6-point game.
Game 1.
They beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins have kind of stunk as of late. They beat the Jaguars. They lost to the Ravens. They got blew out by the Ravens, 35-10. So that's their worst loss. They lost to the Texans by a field goal. They beat the Jets by a field goal. They beat the Titans by 24. They beat the Seahawks by 21. They beat the Dolphins by 3, and they beat the Colts by 10. So they're getting ready to hit the meat of their schedule. This is what Buffalo's got coming up. The Chiefs, the 49ers, the Rams, the Lions. That is a brutal 4-game stretch for them. And then they get to close it out with 2 games against the Patriots and a game against the Jets. So Buffalo feasibly could lose the next 4.
Yep.
and then win the last 3. But New England always plays them kind of tough because that divisional type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess at the end of the year they could still have 7 losses by the end of the year. I don't know if it's going to happen. But.
Yeah, true. Oh, Mike, you hear that?
We got a gifted sub on the way, baby.
Justin Flanders with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, my man. That train is
fires me up, man.
Up, son.
You know what that train is? That's the same train.
It goes long. It goes hard.
Yeah. If you're a hockey fan, I'm pretty sure the Boston Bruins used to use that every time a goal was scored, and I love it.
Hey, if you get that membership from Justin, make sure to thank him in the chat. We appreciate the support, my man. If you guys have not joined the ACU crew, become a member.
Yeah.
You can see in the top, right there.
Yeah.
Up here.
We have 209, but that's not count. That's not a live update. Like, we've given out, there's been 6 or 7 today.
You know what I'm going to say about that? Week. We could do better.
We need to run that up. This is rookie numbers, guys. We need to be running that up to like 1,000.
Yeah, we need to get in the big boy ballpark. Have a good ACU crew. Speaking of, Mike, we're going to be doing the members only live stream next week.
Yeah.
So we'll get with you fellas and let you know exactly when that'll be. But what are we doing, Mike? Aren't we giving something away?
We are. We got another jersey to give away. It's another one from our boy Justin Ross.
Justin Ross is hooking you guys up.
He's hooking you up. And by the way, number 8. Now, I know that's D-Hop's number now. D-Hop come along, and he crapped all over this for you if you want to be accurate. But just know that Justin Ross was number 8 first. And that he'll always be number 8 in the hearts and minds of KC Chiefs fans.
Hey, but yeah, we're going to give away that Justin Ross jersey on the members only live stream. If you want a chance to win that bad boy, then go sign up. Hit that join button or go to join.allchiefedup.com and sign up. And if you're nice and you feel like doing the Lord's work, you can gift out some memberships and hand out some Christmas presents.
For sure. Also, if you're on X, be on the lookout today because we partnered with FOCO, and today, I actually threw it up yesterday, but something happened. Something happened with everything. So we're doing a giveaway. That's the moral of the story. But something happened with it, and it just did not. Something went wrong. I don't know what happened, but it went completely wrong. So anyways, I'm going to throw it back up today. So be on the lookout if you're on X. They're giving away a tailgate tote bag, which is pretty cool. It's not even been completely out to the public yet. So we're going to do a little giveaway over there. All you got to do is follow All Chiefed Up and FOCO and then tag like a couple friends. That's all you do to get that. But that's going to be fun. Give it away. It'll be a nice little, I don't know if it'll arrive before Christmas because I think it's on a pre-order, but should be here for beach season next year. Go to the beach. Show your Chiefs love. Every time I'm down in Florida, Steve, tons of Chiefs fans down there.
Ain't that a beach?
Like, I feel like Florida's a Chiefs mecca.
Actually, when I was there, I didn't see none of that. But that was before the Chiefs were popular.
You were in the Panhandle, huh?
I was in Panama City.
You was up there in the tourist spots.
Yeah.
So you didn't tourist
Chiefs of Kingdom has grown quite tremendously.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 years. I'm not sure why. But
yeah, we've not really won much. I mean, there's really no exciting players here. Nobody's really started it's not like we have somebody dating the biggest pop star in the world. I don't.
Right.
So I mean, we don't have that really. So I don't really know what the deal is. It's just odd, dude. I think people just are starting to come around to Andy's mustache.
Oh, Andy's mustache. I think Big Red don't get enough credit. And it's funny to say that because a lot of people talk about Andy being one of the best coaches ever and stuff like that. But I really just think that Andy don't get enough credit. I don't think you can give him enough credit.
Andy should be
the man.
Front runner for NFL Coach of the Year this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
With everything he's dealt with and the fact that we're still 9-0. Now, look, a lot of people's going to say, well, you still got all those Hall of Famers. I mean, yeah, we pointed it out. I get it. Detroit's had to deal with more injuries. Now, I don't know if the quality of injuries is high as what we've dealt with. Like Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Butker for 4 weeks, Pacheco. These are big-time injuries. It's not like we're sending, our third-string corner. And we did send our second-string guy, our CB2, rather. He's there now. It's constant. It's constant. And Andy's right there, so.
I mean, that's the thing that what I meant by that was like I don't think Andy gets enough credit for the culture that he's built in Kansas City. And like just I think he's the catalyst of all that. The way he is with the players, the way he's able to adapt to different types of people and players and personalities, and everyone loves playing for Andy Reid. Like they just do, and he gets good players in here. He's got a system. Everybody falls into line. People they buy in. Everyone buys in. So I mean, Andy's got it on lock, man. We're lucky to have him as a head coach. So
Andrew
Reid
the fourth.
I was gonna say Andrew Paddington Reid the fourth.
You think Andy Reid's middle name is Paddington?
I hope so. What if he was him and Patty? They could just be Pat and Pat.
You think his name's Patrick Paddington too?
No. Patty and Patty. Couple of patties. Because you know why? Because Andy Reid likes the cheeseburger with a couple patties on it. Let's go.
And Patrick Mahomes likes peppermint patties.
Let's go.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know where that's going. We're getting ready to jump off here in just a few minutes. Get your last minute questions in. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that's threw out subs, pops. We had Justin throwing out some gifted. You know, throwing out gifted is some of the best things you can do to try to run up our number counts over here on ACU Crew, because that grows the crew. That is one of the best things to grow our community. But all the regular donations too, we appreciate those. Those help us. It goes a long way. It all gets put back into the channel, helps us grow. Just liking it, just watching it, just interacting, commenting with people, all that kind of stuff helps, man. It helps the channel grow. And again, we're getting close to 40K subs, Steve. So if you haven't clicked the sub just yet, click it, click that notification bell. And here's what I'll tell you. I like you to click the notification bell, but YouTube is not the greatest at throwing out notifications. People say that all the time. So I'm going to also preface it by this. Whatever phone you're on, iPhone, wherever, if you watch stuff on that, you have to make sure that you go find the YouTube app and find settings and make sure that app is allowed to give you alerts. Right?
Yeah, you have to have notifications
so many people don't
turned on the app.
Yeah, so many people don't have it set up that their phone will let YouTube notify them. And so when YouTube notifies you that we're live,
you don't get it.
Your phone will not allow that to come through. So that has to be checked as well.
So
just
Mike
you know.
being big-brained.
That's the only thing I can figure out, because we had somebody write us the other day and asking us what's going on, and that's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah. Yep. Appreciate you guys, though. Janae says she's been subscribed to the channel. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you guys are awesome. But yeah, man, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the day. I mean, but we'll get more in depth on this Bills matchup tomorrow night. We'll be doing the official tailgate live stream. We'll jump into the matchup more in depth. We'll also give some predictions, have a little fun, see what you guys think about the matchup, and then of course at 3:25 on Sunday they'll be playing the Bills in Orchard Park. So it should be a fun one this weekend. And real quick before we head out, Del Monte green beans, baby, with the 10 bomb.
Let's go.
It's child, please. Chiefs fans have suffered for 40 years with the most historic losses in NFL history. Payback is a mother. Hey, let me tell you something, Del Monte. I say that all the time. When I'm out in the world and people see my Chiefs gear or something, and they're just like, ugh, you know, you get the looks like, ugh. Like Taylor Swift or Patrick Mahomes, like, ugh, we're tired of them winning. I don't feel bad at all. I do not care. And I'll tell them that straight to their face. Like, I don't care what you think. I don't care how hurt your feelings are. I don't care about none of that, because I watched so much bad football and I lived through all that and I dealt with it and I still loved them. And now you can suck it. You can suck it. Like, I'm going to enjoy this and, yeah, deal with it.
The funny one, though, to me, is the rigged concept.
Losers.
So look, Denver, it's rigged. Everything was rigged. The script, blah blah blah. It's funny how it was only rigged when the Chiefs win, but it wasn't rigged in 2016 when Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with Denver.
Yeah,
that wasn't rigged. That was just because they were awesome. But then,
Well, they didn't start rigging things until Patrick Mahomes entered the picture. Because
the best player to ever play the game, you had to rig it.
Everyone knows that for no reason at all, the NFL, they saw this guy playing.
This curly-headed, goofy-looking dude.
Yeah. And they were like, look, he's got a dad bod. He's got the big curly hair. He sounds like Kermit the Frog. This is the guy that we have to market the NFL after. This is him.
Look, if I'm going to run my multi-trillion-dollar corporation, I'm putting a guy on there with a dad bod and just
a Kermit voice.
And a Kermit voice. I mean, I don't see how you go wrong with that.
I mean, they had to put
playing for a team in the Midwest
chips into that one.
Just a fly-over small market team too. We'll put them on that too, and just really throw it out of whack. Shut up.
People don't really think about the dumb stuff they say, do they?
Steve, you know what I say to them?
Appreciate the 10, Del Monte.
Stupid dumbass.
They are though. They really are.
That's
my new favorite
that narrative,
clip.
You're out.
That's my new favorite clip. We're gonna hear Butthead a lot.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, we appreciate you guys being here, Steve. You got anything left for them besides a little Go Chiefs?
Yeah, hit that like button on the way out if you haven't, and also watch our other videos and shorts and stuff. Mike's been putting in some work. Go show him some love. Watch those things. Hit that like button. Get in the comments.
Do it.
All that good stuff. But yeah, go Chiefs, baby.
There goes a sight from my soul.